I think we have time for one last question. I see a hand over there.
And I'll be here through tomorrow, so I can just, the nice room.
We'll answer questions all day after this is done.
Hi, I have my checkbook here for my extended time. I feel like folks here might know my work because in 2010, I ran my corporation for Congress. And so I feel like folks here might have remembered that. Got a lot of play for the time. But one of the things I've learned was some states are bigger offenders than others, like Delaware, where you can get a corporation in an hour if you spend enough. I don't know why you would need that. But it would be interesting to hear, like, what are the states are the worst offenders? Like, if you could pop Delaware, right, you would take out so many corporations. So, I mean, sort of the sense of like, we know you have to go state by state, but where are the ideal kind of places to be if you really wanted to do a lot of damage at one time?
And can I just add one piece to this, which is, do you have to get Delaware to really have an impact within another state, right? I don't know if someone can take those two questions.
Yeah. So basically, one of the beauties of this is not like a constitutional amendment where you can fight a holy war to get it passed and then wait for the other 3/4 of the states to pass it. And until then, nothing happens. This immediately gets all of your state's corporations out of your local, state, and federal elections because they get all powers from the state. So the power to spend in federal elections comes from the state. But because no out-of-state corporations can exercise any power that a domestic corporation can't exercise, all out-of-state corporations are out as well. So even one of the questions I get all the time is, well, what about Delaware? Doesn't Delaware need to pass this? It's like, well, no. From Montana's point of view, if Montana passes this, Montana corporations are out of politics, and every other state's corporations are out of Montana's politics. Doesn't affect what a Delaware corporation does in Virginia. That would be unconstitutional. Montana can't talk to those two sovereigns and decide anything there. But it can absolutely say what can happen within its borders. So that's why we're not so much thinking about it like, yes, if Delaware passed it, it'd be amazing. That'd be great. They're not going to pass it. They don't have ballot issues, and it takes a 2/3 vote in each house to change their corporation statute. They're very careful about their corporate law there. But we don't need them. Basically, every state that does this fixes their politics immediately.
Yeah, and I would just say, I mean, we know what states are sort of dominant in the race for incorporation. So Delaware is the leading state. We know Texas is now, they just formed a stock exchange 2 weeks ago, the Texas Stock Exchange, and they've changed their corporate law to be more appealing. They're coming for Delaware. Nevada has been trying to compete with Delaware. California has a huge economy, so their corporate law is also a player. But none of that really tells us who are the companies that are putting so much of their money into elections. And I wouldn't assume that it's publicly traded companies. It's not, I mean, we know a fair amount about what publicly traded companies spend, but private companies, they disclose less. And thanks to all of these dark money channels, there's actually, kind of a veil of secrecy over where the money is coming from. So I guess it's got to be a 50-state sweep.
Yeah, to get every state clean of all their elections, clean. Getting a 50-state sweep, but you don't need 50 states in order to help each individual state.
And Montana would certainly be the envy of every other state if they passed this, because,
yes, it would.
I mean, I think there would just be this rising of citizens that say, if Montana can do it, we can do it, or we should do it. And I think that's probably what we're going to hear.
Well, it's rare that ideas come along that put power back in the hands of people to actually have agency to make the political system better. And this is a really exciting one, and I've really learned a lot through this conversation. I just want to thank all of those of you who are here or have asked questions, and especially Jeff, Sarah, and Tom for the great dialogue. Thank you all for